Yo guys, what's up? Previously I explained the tyranny of the Versailles Treaty, for Germany that is, which put an end to the alliance of Germany and its split up partners Austria and Hungary and led in hyperinflation for the German state. In November 1923, one upcoming politician wanted to put a stop to it by taking over control of the government. His name was Adolf Hitler. Hitler was born in Austria-Hungary and never did well in school. He wanted to become an art painter and bumped into resistance from his psychotic father and overconcerned mother often. When he was 18, he left home to take the entrance exam for Vienna's Art Academy twice and was denied twice because his painting speed was far too low. He ended up in a homeless shelter and was quite overjoyed when World War I broke loose mid-1914 because he volunteered for military duty and immediately found his passion. He was used as a runner, rose to the rank of corporal and was temporarily blinded by mustard gas in 1918, putting him in a field hospital before Germany was forced to surrender. After the war he went into politics and joined the Deutsche Arbeiterspartei, where he quickly rose up and established the adapted Nazi Sozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterspartei, or NSDAP. He had fantastic reasoning skills and used the Versailles Treaty as a means to enrage fascist supporters. On the night of November 8, 1923, he conspired with the legendary General Ludendorff and ordered the Sturmabteilung, or militia of the NSDAP, to hold down strategic places and to capture government officials in Munich during the infamous Bierkeller Putsch in Munich. However, on the very last moment, General Ludendorff changed his mind and informed the police and German military. The Bierkeller Putsch was ruined and 14 of Hitler's militants died on November 8 and 9. Hitler was trialed and spoke the unforgettable words, "I alone am responsible for this coup." Immediately he became the hero of the German people. A sort of martyr who was condemned to a 5-year jail sentence, but thanks to good behavior Hitler was released after only 9 months. All this time he had been writing his famous book called Mein Kampf, which means My Struggle. Because of his acts, the NSDAP party was temporarily forbidden, but was reinstated shortly after Hitler's release. In 1924, the French troops left the occupied Ruhr Valley, and even USA had come around after the failed coup and installed a loan system to take the pressure off the German economy and citizens. A moderate central party even won the elections of 1928, so peace and prosperity seem to have returned to German soil. But in the beginning of 1929 everything went wrong when overproduction caused very low market prices for the farmers. They even retaliated with bomb attacks in Schleswig-Holstein and gave the opportunity to extreme voices to make themselves heard again. To make it even worse, USA shut down the money valve and stopped giving loans to the Germans, reversing the prosperity and creating more social inequality. Nazi supporters were fighting with communists in the very streets of Berlin 16 years before actual Nazis and commies would battle it out with real weapons. To make it even worse, in October 1929 there was a global economic crisis due to the Wall Street crash. New elections were held in Germany with Hitler as a popular candidate from the second biggest party in the country, but he was passed and gained even more support over the next years. In November 1932, there was another government crisis, because the previous government, elected in November 1929 after a global economy meltdown, had done nothing to make life better for the poor German citizens. Basically, they had only pissed them off more, and they had driven them into the arms of extremists. There were very few people left who did not support either the Nazis or the commies. And again, Adolf Hitler was a candidate for the job of Reichskanzler, but fear led in the appointment of Paul von Hindenburg, who was already the president of Germany since 1925 and a very old man. Unable to combine politics and leadership, he had no other option left than to install Hitler as Chancellor on January 30, 1933. No other candidates remained, and the president was certain that left-wing debates would put a swift end to Hitler's fascist ambitions. He was pretty certain that Hitler's troubled childhood and the lack of discipline and structure of Hitler's fellow politicians would result into another open position for Reichschancellor and a humiliation for the NSDAP. But Hitler had already taken that into consideration and would find a way to make it work. President Paul von Hindenburg ultimately died on September 2, 1934, on the age of 86 after a long sickness. Hitler witnessed his dying moments and his last words, "My emperor, my fatherland." See you on the next one, guys. Peace.